know, my third great-grandmother was enslaved right across the river. Her name was Maria Diana. And it's only counted that the first census after slavery was over, 1870. She was 36 years old, 35 years old. We got the copy of it from the Secretary of State's office. And then in 1880, 1890, those records were burned in fire, but we were able to find her records in 1900. Now I say that because Callaway County had the largest number of slaves than any other county in the state of Missouri, more than any other county. And where we're standing right here, there were homes that were built with secret doorways and secret rooms for the underground railroad so that former slaves could find their freedom. Now, it was a blessing when I found out about my third great-grandmother. First of all, I didn't know her name was Maria. Secondly, when she was counted at 35, that was the same age when I was elected to the Senate. And what a blessing it was to know that. So now, we are going to be presented with a presentation, an introduction by Representative Harvey May, representing St. Louis City. Please.
First of all, I would like to say good evening. I would like to give reverence to the Almighty God, because I think He is the reason that we're all here. Because I always like to say He brought us all the way, and He didn't wake me up this morning to do my own will, but He woke me up to do His will. So when we keep that in mind, I think we can feel what I consider the greater purpose in life. So I have been given the task of introducing a young man, yes, a young man, who is going to come before you to talk about that very thing, and that's purpose. But before I give you his name, I want to talk about some other things. This young man was born August 5th, 1953 in St. Louis, Missouri. We have some very significant things that happened in 1953. And the reason I want to talk about some of those things is because, God calls in his deliberation in the book of Jeremiah. He had to pause to tell Jeremiah that he was born according to his purpose. God said, before I formed thee in the womb, I knew thee. And before I brought thee forth, I ordained thee a prophet unto the nation. Right. So I think that when we're born into this world, we're born with a purpose. And we're born into some things that are occurring in an era. Like Dr. Martin Luther King. He was born in an era where there was still oppression going on, yet slavery was supposed to be over. And he had the purpose of leading a people. Well, this young man was born in 1953. And some world events that took place in 1953, we only had a population of 2.681 billion people. Moscow announced the explosion of the hydrogen bomb. Joseph Stalin died. Harry S. Truman left office. General Dwight D. Eisenhower was inaugurated President of the United States in January of that year. Julius and Ethel Rosenberg, they were spies, they were executed in the Sing Sing prison of June of that year. The alleged communist, Charlie Chaplin, left the U.S. for good. Legislators only made $1,500 per year with a $10 per diem. The first polio vaccine was developed. The U.S. Supreme Court gave power to enforce right-to-work laws. The first issue of the TV Guide magazine hit the newsstand in April of that year, with a circulation of 1,560,000. Lucille Ball actually gave birth to Desi Arnaz Jr. on the same day the fictional Little Ricky was born on I Love Lucy. The first successful open heart surgery was performed in Philadelphia in 1953. The first color television set went on sale for $1,175 in the U.S. Wow. New York City adopted 3 color traffic lights. The Corvette, the all-American sports car, went on sale in 1953. That same year, they reported cigarette smoking as the cause of lung cancer. Supreme Court justices were paid an annual salary of $17,500. In 1953, there were 363 civil cases filed, 87 criminal cases was filed, and 164 writs. Cases by opinion in 1953 were 230 civil, 50 criminal, for a total of 280. Cases without opinion was 164 civil, 19 criminal, and 129 writs, for a total of 312. I don't know if you remember the Warren Court. In 1953, President Dwight Eisenhower appointed Earl Warren, who was the governor then of California, to the position of Chief Justice. Warren's term, which lasted until 1969, was arguably one of the most significant in the history of the court. Under him, the court made a long series of landmark decisions, but the most notable was Brown versus the Board of Education, which the court unanimously declared segregation in public schools unconstitutional, effectively reversing the precedent set era of Plessy versus Hurst. I said all that to introduce to you a young man who was born in 1953. He was appointed to the Supreme Court in October of 2011. Appointed in May 2000 as a judge of the Court of Appeals, retained at the November 2002 general election for a 12-year term expiring December 31st, 2014. Served as the Chief Judge July 2005 through June 2006. Appointed in June 1998 as the Circuit Judge of the 21st Judicial Court. Appointed in July 1994 as Associate Circuit Judge in the 21st Judicial Circuit. He earned a Bachelor of Arts in Psychology from Morehouse College in Atlanta, Georgia. He earned a Jewish doctorate from Howard University School of Law. He was the Vice President of the Board of Covenant Community Church. I would like to introduce to you Judge George W. Draper III, who was also born in 1953 for a significant purpose. To this day, he is the new Missouri Supreme Court Justice. Judge Draper.
Representative May, thank you for that glowing introduction. I didn't realize 1953 was such a significant year. I'm glad I was born in it.
That's right.
I said, in most sincerity, I'm glad I was born in 1953, as Representative May pointed out, was a watershed year for the Supreme Court with the Earl Warren Court. And a lot of my life was and shaped by that work. So thank you, Representative May, for that introduction. Other members of the Black Caucus, thank you for the invitation here. And I'm here to talk only about the purpose of this event, and that's all I'm going to do. To talk about the purpose of this event. To celebrate, to honor, and to remember. To celebrate freedom. To go where you want, how you want, to eat where you want, sleep where you want, to marry who you want, to live where you want, to vote, to be full-fledged participants in this grand experience in America. To honor a man, a black man, a man raised in relative privilege, who wanted initially nothing more than to reach God's word and raise a family. A man influenced at 15 years old at Morehouse College by Benjamin Mays to pursue a theological instead of a legal education. A man thoroughly impressed by a lecture in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, by the first black president of Howard University, Mordecai Johnson, about his meeting with a lawyer in India, Mahatma Gandhi, and about his philosophy on nonviolent social change as a tactic for social change. He was so impressed that he went back to the seminary where he was studying and got every book he could find on God. A man that when asked by his friend, Reverend Abernathy, and community leader in Birmingham, Alabama, Reverend E.B. Nixon, to lead a boycott, put life and limb in jeopardy, he said yes. A man so committed to reaching our dream that he wrote letters from the Birmingham jail and later explained why we can't wait. A man who recognized the wisdom of Abel Randolph's idea for a march on Washington. A man who preached to America of his dream, for his children, our nation. A man fully deserving the Nobel Peace Prize. To remember people that have come up through slavery, a country that fought itself from the institution of slavery, a government that freed but could not free, a movement of nonviolent social change that witnessed to that arc of the universe till it bent toward what? Justice. To remember a leader whose image stands deservedly in the nation's capital, a lamb sacrificed, a hero.